Hello, my name's Ian Gray, and in this episode of the Confident Live Marketing Show, I'm showing why this year is my year of community and why you should be focusing on community too. So I'll be with you just after this.
This is the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. Confident Live Marketing Podcast with Ian Anderson Gray, helping entrepreneurs level up their impact, authority and profits through the power of live video. Gain confidence in front of the camera, confidence with technology, and confidence with the content and marketing.
Together, we can go live!
Hello and welcome to episode 98 of the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. This show is all about helping you level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video. Just to let you know, I go live every Tuesday and Thursday. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, you can go to confident.live/subscribe. Confident.live/subscribe. We broadcast to a plethora of different destinations, including Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. It's still just about around, and loads of other platforms as well. If you are listening to the podcast, then you can find the show notes for this episode at iag.me/98. And I also want to welcome you if you are watching the replay in the future. I'd love to know if you are, and if you are, just put #replay in the comments. It would be awesome to connect with you. And of course, if you're watching live, let me know where in the world you are watching from. It would be awesome if you could share this out with your friends. If you feel this is going to be of value to other people out there, we're talking about community today, then just share that out. And as I said, if you are watching in the future or on the podcast, if you want to get involved with one of these shows and watch live, that's where you can ask questions and get involved. Then all you need to do is register for that. Just go to confident.live/subscribe. And you can also, in fact, unfortunately, I don't think I've actually got this to put up on the screen, but if you're in the UK, you can just text the word confident to 07723 361 790. And of course, this is a podcast. So if you want to subscribe to the podcast, it comes out every Friday. That's all you need to do is go to iag.me/podcast. There's a huge amount of stuff to go through there. My goodness, I'm not sure I'm going to cope with that every week, but I just wanted to let you know because it's actually been quite a while since I've gone live on this show. The last time I did a Confident Live Marketing show live was at the beginning of December. So I've had a bit of a break. I've been doing the Go Live with Restream and the Go Live with Confidence show for Restream. And I've also done the podcasting hour for Ecamm as well. Now, something really exciting is that this is episode 98. Next week's episode on Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about, this is for episode 99, I'm going to be talking about Clubhouse. Anyone heard of Clubhouse? Clubhouse. It is a new cool tool that everyone's talking about, maybe talking about a little bit too much. I want to go through the hype and just talk about how we can actually use Clubhouse strategically. At the moment, it's only available for iOS devices, but Android is coming. It is effectively a live audio chatting tool where you can be in a room with other people. It is really, really cool. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And of course, next Thursday, if you're watching live, it's episode 100, and we're doing a big giveaway. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a bit. So in today's show, I'm going to be sharing why 2021 is my year of community. And I'm going to give you some updates on what I'm working on. But I also want to let you know why this year might be your year to talk about community as well. So let's see who we've got watching live. We've got, as I say, we've got Vishna watching from Croatia. She's saying I'm pronouncing her name correctly, which is awesome. And Carl is also saying, hello, Ian. Wow, deja vu. Yes, it is. So what I'm doing, if you're just watching the replay or the podcast, I have a little live element at the beginning, which I cut off. So it's kind of like saying hello twice. So, and Carl says Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Yes. Are you watching? Are you playing around with Clubhouse, Carl? Vishnu, let me know. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but that's what I'm going to be talking about on Tuesday. So just a reminder, if you have any questions, just put a Q at the start. But it's time to talk about my sponsors for the show. This show today is sponsored by my friends at Agorapulse and Restream. And so I want to introduce, this is actually the first time I've introduced Agora Pulse on the show. This is the first time they are a new sponsor. I'm really excited about this because Agora Pulse is my favorite social media management tool. Emmerich, the CEO of Agora Pulse, effectively saved me in my business world. He invited me to social media marketing world back in 2015. We've become great friends since, and I'm so excited about Agora Pulse sponsoring the show. So here's a short video on Agora Pulse.
Agora Pulse keeps teams organized and on top of social media. Simply connect your profiles and get an inbox, scheduling tools, and clear, concise reports for each profile. Craft content once and publish to multiple networks. Use the schedule, queue, and repeat options to fill up your social calendar months in advance. Get approval with the click of a button if you need it. Your inbox collects all incoming posts, comments, tweets, direct and private messages for easy management and team collaboration. Agora Pulse even collects 100% of the comments on your Facebook and Instagram ads. Saved replies make responses faster. And the Inbox Assistant cleans up and organizes your inbox for you automatically. Reports show you how well your content and team are performing. Export your reports into a PowerPoint or CSV with one click. You'll see who engages with you the most, and you can categorize them into segments that make sense. Agora Pulse is priced and built for teams. With your whole team on the same page, you can achieve your social media goals faster and more efficiently together. Try Agora Pulse for free today.
So I don't know about you, but I tend to get really overwhelmed on social media, and Agora Pulse is a great tool. I've been using it since 2015. It's just the way that it can help you engage with all those audiences in one inbox, which is amazing. So yeah, that never-ending inbox is going to be away and driven away from you if you use Agora Pulse. And so if you want to find out a bit more about Agora Pulse and sign up for a free trial, I can give you a whole month for free. Normally it's a lot less than that, but if you go to agorapulse.com/confidentlive, that's agorapulse.com/confidentlive, you can get that for free for a whole month. And let me know how you get on. So I can see that I was talking a little bit about next episode when I'm going to be talking about Clubhouse. Vishnu says, Clubhouse is at the moment low on my list of priorities. And I think, that is absolutely fine. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I see a lot of people getting sucked into the world of Clubhouse and spending all their time there. I think that's not a good thing to do. You've got to be strategic about it. So I'm going to talk a little bit more on Tuesday or the next episode about my strategy for Clubhouse and why I think it is a really powerful place if you use it correctly. So there we go. So before I get started with talking about this year being my year of community, I just want to let you know about the giveaway that I'm doing. So if you put giveaway in the comments, you will raise from the bottom of the bowels of Facebook, the Facebook Messenger bot, which will allow you to enter into the amazing $15,000 worth of equipment and gear and tool giveaway that I'm doing at the moment to celebrate my 100th episode. So just put giveaway in the comments. And if you've already entered, if you want to unlock more ways of getting more points for this, just put unlock in the comments. So here is some of the amazing prizes and a little bit more information on how you can enter.
And now on IAG TV,
it's the Confident Live Marketing Podcast giveaway! Launch your live show in just 10 days with the Launch Your Live course. Get the special Black Edition Heil PR40 microphone worth $329. Or the Elgato Stream Deck worth $189. Get Restream Pro 12-month subscription worth $490. Agorapulse Social Media Management, the large plan worth $1,908. Ecam Live Pro, 12 months, worth $349. 12 months subscription to the membership of the Podcast Host Academy. Amy Wood's Content and X book. 12-month subscription to Captivate FM. TubeBuddy subscription to the Legend plan worth $300. 12-month subscription to Wave Video Creator plan. Alitu 6-month subscription worth $200. Free podcast show, intro and outro from Music Radio Creative. Free Jeff C's pop-out video course. Get 12-month subscription to the Easel Plus plan. And a free book, Podcast Growth by Colin Gray. Well, there you go. That is the amazing giveaway. I will be announcing the winners on 4th of February. That's the 4th of February. I just had to think about that for a little minute. And the deadline for the giveaway is on Wednesday the 3rd. So do get involved, put giveaway into the comments, and you can enter into it. So this is episode 98, and I want to talk today about why this year is my year of community. You know, I've kind of avoided this in the past, coming up with words to describe a year. You know, to me, it sounded a bit, I don't know, almost woo-woo, if that's the right word. I've seen other people do it. You know, how could you possibly assign a word to a year, describe the whole year? You know, our years are ups and downs. They change a lot. But I started to realize that actually having a focus for the year was really important, particularly to me, because I'm, you know, in the past, and I still can be like this if I'm not careful, I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I've got loads of ideas and I can focus all over the place. And so it was back in 2019 when I thought, do you know what? I am going to give this year a name. So, yeah. And the amazing thing is that it actually came true. That word did come true, and probably because it was my main focus for the year. So I'd love to know from you, have you ever done this? Have you ever given a word to describe the year? Now, what is your word for 2021? Or if you're listening to this in the future, 2022 or 2023, you know. So going back in time, 2019 for me, I called this my year of visibility. And I think the reason for this, I don't know whether you suffer from this, but I suffered from wanting to kind of hide away. I'm an introvert. So in some ways, I like just to stay on my own. And it took a bit of effort for me to actually go to conferences. I love conferences and do all that kind of stuff, but it just took a bit more effort. And I think in 2018, although I did speak at quite a few conferences and I went to the US to speak at Social Media Marketing World, yeah, I was kind of hiding a bit. So 2019 was my year of visibility. It was my year when I wanted to get out there, be seen at conferences, and also do a lot more live video as well. Just get out there so that people could see who I am, get to know me as well. So I ended up speaking at particularly 10 conferences all around the world. I spoke in the US at Social Media Marketing World. It was also the time when I went over for the second time to the US to speak at Content Marketing World. And I spoke in Poland and Slovenia, London and Northern Ireland. It was a really fun year, although a very tiring one. And it was almost as if I did too much. But that was my year of visibility. Now, 2020, difficult year for a lot of people. And obviously, none of us knew what was going to be happening with 2020 until it happened. But I decided pretty early on in 2020, after 2019 being my year of visibility, it was my time to focus on the growth personally, on my personal development and on my mindset, but also on my business. Now, it's been a hard year. 2020 was a hard year for so many people. And I have to admit, although being an introvert, it's been really hard not to meet up with friends and family, not to hug people. I'm a hugger, just in case you didn't know. But that ability just to be at home allowed me to focus more on my business, properly growing my business, not focusing on vanity statistics, more on that in a bit, or being visible necessarily. It was more on my business, growing my business, changing my mindset. And I found that 2020 was really a big year for me in the growth of my confidence. And if you're a regular listener or watcher of this show, I hope you've seen that development, that you have seen and heard me become more confident over that year. But it's also been a great year for my business, as well as I've been able to help other businesses with getting in front of the camera, with the confidence and doing things like a lot more live video productions. So that's been amazing. I've been able to delegate things, do things that I've been wanting to do for ages, and I've been able to hire quite a few people to help with the aspects of my business that I don't enjoy or not very good at. That's been amazing. Things like, for example, applying for my first trademark as well. So, and of course, it's been a year, 2020 was a year when I was able to be a lot more consistent as well. So it was amazing that focus on my business really helped me. And so that was 2020. So 2021, I decided at the end of last year, it was a bit of a difficult one. I wanted 2021 to definitely be a year of consistency, to carry on being really consistent and organized with my content. So, for example, I'm going to be sending an email absolutely every single Friday. There's going to be no excuse every Friday, as well as my podcast on a Friday and my 2 live shows every week. But I wanted to focus on community. I think community is everything. So you watching this live show, either live or the replay, or if you're listening to the podcast, you watching, listening is my reason for doing this. Yes, it's great. Obviously I need to earn money, and a profitable business is so important. But I do this for you watching and listening. I want to grow an audience the right way. I want to avoid, and I want to hear from you if you agree with me on this, I want to avoid the vanity statistics which so easily can suck us in. I want to build an audience of people, a smaller audience. I'm not, so fussed about the big audiences, who love who I am, what I do, and for whom I can actually help. And at the end of the day, yes, of course, build an audience of people who actually want to work with me and buy from me. I think that's important. But I do think there is this danger of following the vanity statistics. And I'd love to know from you, please be honest, I'm not the only one, who follows the vanity statistics of the number of LinkedIn connections, the number of Twitter followers, the number of people on their mailing list. I wonder whether you're a bit like that. It's a big danger. So a couple of years ago, I had a mailing list of over 20,000 people. Now, that might not sound like an awful lot to some. It might sound a lot to some. But I think 20,000 was quite a big number. And I grew that mailing list really quickly through content, through my live videos and through my blog posts. The problem was that the people on that list, the vast majority, well, let's say about half of them, actually weren't really interested in what I was doing. I sent them emails and they weren't opening them. They were not interested. They weren't the right audience. And I knew that. I did a lot of research into it. And so over the last 2 years, I've actually slashed that down to, I've got around 8,000 on the list now, which is great. And the people that subscribe to my mailing list are people who actually really love what I do. I'm much more interested in a smaller number of people, passionate people. And so that's what I'm interested in this year, is to build a community of passionate people around my live shows, podcasts, and my email list. I don't want to follow and be seduced by the vanity statistics. But how am I going to do that? I'd love to know from you, actually. Have you got any tips, any ideas and thoughts about how I can do that and how you could do that? And what is your focus going to be for next time? So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But just a reminder, if you've just tuned in, this is episode 98 of the Confident Live Marketing Show. And I'm sharing why this year is my year of community. So I can see a few people commenting. I would love to know from you. Don't be shy in the comments. I can see that Carl before was talking about my giveaway. So he wants the Stream Deck which is awesome. Stream Deck is so good. I use it all the time for my live shows to switch scenes and add sound effects and things like that. For example, I don't know whether this is going to work actually. No, that's not going to work, is it? I've got a little sound effect. Oh yeah, it does. There we go. Play that. It helps if you have the volume up, so you can do cool things like that. Yeah, and the wonderful Martin Buckland is here. Martin, you are definitely such a support to me, and I love what you do, and I love to see your progression. So thank you so much for tuning in to all my shows. It's so great to see you there. And Martin says, you have made such an impact to so many, especially to me. So thank you, Martin. I mean, that means everything to me. You know, that's why I do what I do, to make an impact, to help people. And so that's awesome. Now, this is a great comment from Vishnu, who says, anyone in B2B doesn't need big numbers to make themselves motivated to live stream. It's possible to have results with like 12 views per video. Yeah, I totally agree with you. No, that's another vanity I can't say the word statistic today. Statistic, there we go. Is the number of live viewers. You know, sometimes when you go live, you might have 0 people watching, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. You know, today I've got about 5 or 6 people watching me live at the moment, and that's primarily because I've not done a great job in the last couple of weeks of promoting this. It's one of the things that I'm going to be doing. But do you know, I'm more interested in the small group of people that watch the show live. And then, of course, the other group of it, there's going to be a much bigger number of people who will watch this in the future, the replay. And, of course, then there's the podcast. And so, actually, I've probably got at least a couple of 100 individuals watching and listening to the show. Probably more than that, in fact, hundreds and hundreds over time. But it's not the numbers. It's actually making an impact. It's the results you can make with 12 views of a video. It's what you do there. So completely agree, Vishnu. I love that. I love that comment from you. And I will be talking a little bit more about how you can promote and how you can build a community as well. So I'd love to know. Let me know. So it's time to talk about my next sponsor. The second sponsor of the show is Restream. Restream is awesome. I use Restream for all of my live shows. I use either Restream Studio or I use Ecamm Live or other tools with Restream. And so I love Restream for so many reasons. But let me just, I'm going to just display this on the screen and describe it to you if you're listening to the podcast. Restream is the complete entrepreneur suite for, I got that the wrong way around. It's the complete multi-streaming suite for entrepreneurs. That would sound weird if I said the complete entrepreneur suite for multi-streamers. Anyway, it allows you to broadcast to a plethora of different destinations. You've actually got over 30 different destinations there. You can use Restream Studio, which allows you to stream professionally through the browser, have up to 10 people on screen, and add comments from all those different destinations. It's awesome. So it's a great way to multiply your views. And of course, you've got the chat feature, which allows you to engage with all your comments across all the different platforms. And they've got analytics and so many other features. So if you want to find out more about Restream, all you need to do is go to iag.me/Restream. There's a free plan and a free trial. You can take it for a test drive. But thank you so much, Restream, for sponsoring the show. I really, really appreciate it. And I wouldn't be without Restream. It's such a great platform. Awesome. Awesome. Right. Well, let's carry on and talk about... I've lost my clicker. Here we go. I'm using my teleprompter just for my notes, so I know what I'm talking about, which would be kind of helpful. So I've talked about why this is my year of community. Let's focus on the how. How are we going to do that? Well, the first thing is kind of, I think, the most important thing, and it's the bit that we tend to forget because it's, in some ways, it's the most difficult, or it's the most... I don't know. It's a bit more difficult to work out how to sort this out. And it's mindset. I talk about mindset a lot on this show because mindset is so much. You know, it's the mindset that stops us from doing so many amazing things. Confidence, lack of confidence was such a big issue for me in loads of areas of my life, but particularly my business, until I went on this mindset journey and I worked at setting myself free from all those blockages. So, first of all, you need to know why this is going to be so important, what your goal is, and so important. And then you need to be able to stick to that. You need to also avoid getting sucked into social media comparisons. So, I don't know whether Vishna's still here, but she was saying that Clubhouse is at the moment low on my list of priorities. That's fine. That's good. Actually, you've got a list of priorities and you're sticking to it. And that's so important. Now, I think you need to be flexible. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more next week when I talk about Clubhouse. But, at the beginning of the year, Clubhouse was not on my list of priorities at all. And then I realized actually Clubhouse is going to really help me strategically with my business. So I needed to find a way of adding it into my list of priorities. But you need to stop getting sucked into social media comparisons. Comparing yourself to others out there is such an easy thing to do. I've been talking about this recently, about social media comparison. And of course, you've got to find out where your tribe is. Where do they hang out? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it on Facebook? Is it on YouTube? Or is it actually a connection of different places? Now, the awesome thing about Restream is I can see where people are watching from. So I can see that Vishna is watching on YouTube, which is awesome. I can see that Carl is watching on Facebook. And I can see that Martin is watching on LinkedIn. So actually, for me, it's a bit more tricky to work out where my tribe is because they're on a number of different platforms. But I do know that for me, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram are definitely big networks for me. And this year, I'm going to be really focusing on YouTube. That you can't focus on all of those different networks right from the start. I would recommend focusing on one or two, but then over time you can build those communities over time. So find out where your tribe is, and then you need to woo them. You need to spend time with them. Don't be a one-way communication machine, which I kind of feel I'm being a bit today, because I'm talking a lot, but I can see a lot of the live viewers watching, and I want to hear from you as well. But just listen to your audience, because I don't know how you feel, Martin or Vishna or Carl, but when I mention your name, I hope that you feel that I care for you, that I'm that I want you to be here, and that's so important when it comes to community. So important. The most important person in all your content, whether that's on Clubhouse or on live video or on social media or your blogs, is not you. The most important person is your audience. So make them feel special. Don't be a one-way communication machine. Engage. And that's one reason why I'm really excited that Agora Pulse is sponsoring the show, because that is a tool that really, really helps me be better at that engagement. Because as I said earlier, I tend to get overwhelmed. And so Agora Pulse helps me engage on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and LinkedIn. It really, really helps me there. So yeah, it's really, really awesome from that point of view. So I can see Vishna is comments here. So actually, I saw your stream on Twitter, but the resolution is bad there. So I went over to YouTube for the full HD experience. And yeah, this is interesting. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. The resolution on Twitter isn't as good as other platforms. I'm actually broadcasting to YouTube in full HD. Facebook still isn't HD yet. It's kind of half that. LinkedIn is 720p. Periscope, Twitter is actually a lot lower than that. So yeah, YouTube, if you want to get the full high resolution HD experience, then YouTube is where it is. But I don't actually mind where you watch, as long as you watch and we get involved. So Carl puts lots of love hearts there, which is lovely. Great to see you, Carl. Vishnu says it's not bad, but YouTube is better. Totally agree. So where have I got to? Talked about engaging with your community, and yes, although Agora Pulse is the most amazing tool, I find I still need some help. So a couple of years ago, I hired a virtual assistant. So I've got an assistant. She's amazing. She's called Tonya. And I realized I haven't actually introduced you to her yet. If you have ever sent me an email or engaged on social media, sometimes you may have come across Tonya. But I'm really excited. On episode 100, she's going to be one of my guests. So I've got over 20 guests on that show. It's going to be a 3-hour show. And going to introduce you to some of my team. Tonya is my VA. She is amazing. So get some help. Get some help for different aspects of what you do. If you know, Agorapulse can help you by, you can actually bring in a team member to help you with that. But don't be afraid of that. You can hire a community manager. And if you're not at the stage in your business when you can do that, just start small. You know, I think a really good piece of advice that was given to me is that you can't help or engage with everybody, but you can engage in a really high level way with a few people, a handful of people. And so just go out of your way to, I would say, bless people, and I try and do this. One thing that I want to do every week is connect with 1 or 2 people in a really deep level. I can't do that with everybody. I just don't have the time. Unfortunately, I wish I could. You can't scale that level of engagement. But I think if you're focusing on your priorities, you get some help and you engage on a deep level with some people, and you're trying to be as helpful as possible with a wide number of people. I mean, of course, if you've got lots of, if you're doing live video, if you're doing lots of other content, you can scale that a lot better. But that's something I've been thinking about. Now, Clubhouse, I'll be talking about that next week, but I just think with Clubhouse, that is a great way to build community. It's a great way to have those smaller, intimate gatherings. And so one thing I'm thinking of doing is at the end of my live shows is going over to Clubhouse and have a little group meeting with people. So if you're watching live, we can pop over to Clubhouse with some other people and we can talk more in depth on the topic. So I'm going to try that next week. After my Tuesday show, we're going to pop over to Clubhouse, but make sure you're being strategic there. Put your audience first. They are the most important. Focus on the singular instead of the plural. Serve your individuals as best as you can. And of course, it's okay and it's right to charge for your expertise. It's good to give a lot of information out there for free. This live show is free. My blog is free. I've got so much free content out there. But there was a time in the past where I was afraid of charging for my expertise, for working with people. You can't help people if you don't have a sustainable business. And there's a great book I recommend. If you're struggling with that aspect of things, then there's a great book called Thou Shalt Prosper by Daniel Lapin. He's a Jewish rabbi, and he gives just so much wisdom about money and business and how you can serve people. There's so many amazing things in that book. So I highly, highly recommend that book, Thou Shalt Prosper. It had a big impact on me a couple of years ago. So if you've just joined us, we're actually coming to the end of the show. This is the Confident Live Marketing Show. Today, I've been talking about community, why this year is my year of community, and what I'm doing about that. If you're still watching live or watching the replay, I'd love to know if you've got any thoughts of what I've been sharing today. What is this year? What is 2021 going to be for you? And is this going to be your year of community? How are you going to do that? I've talked about so many things today. I've talked about why 2021 is my year of community, why that's so important. I want to focus on growing a passionate group of people who love what I do and people that I can really help. That's so, so important to me. And I'm going to be focusing on a small number of platforms and engaging with my audience, helping them. And I can't wait to do that through all the different things that I've been talking about today. So just a reminder, obviously, if you're listening to the podcast, this is past, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. But I will be doing giveaways in the future. But if you're watching live or watching the replay, I do have my 100th episode giveaway with over $15,000 worth of equipment. All you need to do is just type giveaway in the comments if you're watching on Facebook, or go to confident.live/giveaway if you're watching on another platform, and you can enter that way, which I can't wait to share next Thursday. It's going to be awesome. Well, we're out of time for today. Thank you so much for watching live or the replay. I can see that Carl is very, very excited about that. I hope you win, Carl. As I say, if you're watching on Facebook, do type giveaway, or if you've already entered, if you want more ways to add to your points so you've got more of a chance to enter, just put unlock in the comments. If you type unlock in the comments on Facebook, the Facebook Messenger bot will give you some new and exciting ways of doing that. So yeah, Carl, you may have done all of those things already. So all the best, Carl. And I want to thank Sasha, my amazing bots expert. Sasha's been on the show. She's going to be on the show next Thursday as well. We'll talk a little bit more about the mechanisms of how she's built that and how we've done that together, which is going to be great. So awesome. So this show goes live every Tuesday and Thursday. It's going to be live next Tuesday to talk about Clubhouse. And if you want to be on watching the live show for next time, just click on confident.live/subscribe. And of course, don't forget the podcast at iag.me/podcast. Wow, so many things to talk about. Well, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much. But I encourage you to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of Confident Live Video. See you soon. Toodaloo.
Thanks for listening to the Confident Live Marketing Podcast with Ian Anderson Gray. Be sure to join the community at iag.me, where you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video. And until next time, toodaloo.